Hello, Flosstube. Welcome to my channel. I'm Kim Chamberlain, the Canal Town Stitcher. I hope you're all having a wonderful weekend. It is currently October 23rd, 2021. I cannot believe October is almost over. It has been a whirlwind so far this school year. And from what I've heard, it's not going to get any slower for me and my husband and our family because my oldest is a junior in high school. So I have a feeling that this year and next year are going to fly by. And then next year, my next one is a junior, and then he'll be a senior the following year. So I just think that the next few years are just going to be so fast. It's scary. I'm not loving the angle of my camera today. There's a little bit of a mess behind me too. This is my stitchy spot now. I'll have to record what we did because we bought a couple of new chairs for our stitchy area. I'm sorry if I'm making anybody sick. I apologize. I just feel like it's just angled too far back, but it is what it is for right now. It is a gloomy fall day, but I've been up for a while and I was even stitching this morning. It is a 24-hour of cross stitch weekend. So for those of you that don't know, 24 Hours of Cross Stitch is a group on Facebook. And it is a 24-hour of cross stitch weekend. So that means that you can stitch as much as you want or as little as you want in this weekend, and with the goal to get to, you know, as close to 24 hours as you can, or to finish a project, or to, you know, mine is always like, if I can sit down for just 3 or 4 hours in a 24-hour weekend and just stitch, then I'm happy. So it can be whatever you want it to be, but a lot of people take this weekend very seriously and they do a lot of stitching and watching movies. And then I know there's a couple of Zooms that are out there and open. You'd have to go to the Facebook page to see where those are and who's running them, but I do know that there are some pop-in Zooms that you can go to. So it's a big deal. So yeah, and I don't know when the Whip Go weekend, I think, was the week before. So if you're part of the Whip Go group, I think that was the weekend before that, which was the 15th, 16th, 17th. Yes. I don't keep up with all of that as much during the school year as I do during the summer, because obviously as a teacher, I'm just running. My kids have had me everywhere. So a little bit of a life update. Football's almost over. Woohoo! Tennis has ended. Yay! So now we're pretty much just getting back to our normal routine, which is scouts. And then Grace rides horses, so I still take her to those. But like the every day having to pick somebody up at 4:30 and then having to pick somebody up at 5:30 are quickly coming to an end. Cold football games are coming to an end, which is kind of nice, even though I've really enjoyed watching Ryan play. This was his first year. I really enjoyed watching him play. I don't enjoy sitting on cold metal bleachers in the middle of a 45-degree day. I don't think anybody really does. So, and if you do, more power to you. That's just not me. So yeah, that's happening. And then Adam's birthday is on Monday, and he is going to be 11, and he is my baby, and I just can't believe it. Like, when did that happen? You know, like from having 4 kids under the age of 6 to having 4 kids that are, you know, almost all of them teenagers. I blinked. That's what happened. I blinked, and it just went by. TJ and I went on a trip to Vermont last weekend. I did get some stitchy time in because it rained a lot. So I was able to get in a lot on my 25/7 piece, and but the next day it was really nice, and we went for a nice long walk. We went to the Maple Sugar Museum, which is in Pittsford, Vermont. I live very close to Pittsford, New York, so it was kind of weird to be in Pittsford. Actually, a lot of the towns in Vermont are named very similarly to the names of towns in New York. So So that was nice, and we live on 19 acres. I said, wouldn't it be fun if we just one time just tapped some maple trees and made some syrup? And it got us thinking about like just that one time, and so we might venture out in March and try to see if we can locate some sugar maple trees on our property and have fun with that. That's not something that, you know, clearly we want to ever make into a business, but it would be fun just to experience it once, I think. I don't know. So yeah, that's pretty much, we're going to a party tonight. The kids are on a camping trip. It's quiet in the house right now. So I thought, what a better time to get a Flosstube in, because it's been 2 weeks. 2 weeks, which is crazy to me. But anyways, so let's talk about my projects, because that's why you're here. All right, so first let's talk about my 25/7 project, which is my Peace on Earth by Cottage Garden Samplings, and it's right here. Oops, I dropped something else. This 25/7 means that I work on this for about 25 minutes every day, in the hopes that I will finish it soon. Here is the pattern. I love this so much, and I am almost done. Wait until you see it. It is almost done. So I think by the end of this week, I will have it done, if I don't finish it this weekend. My goal is to finish it. This weekend would be nice, but we'll see. I have other things that I'm working on too, so. And here is where I am. Oh, sorry, I'm losing my needle here. Let me just fix that. Yes, I don't use needle minders. Let's see if I can flatten this out a little bit. Okay, I can put it on my book, and that would be better. So here it is. That's not any better, but yay! I am so close to being done on this one, guys. Oh my gosh. I cannot wait. Oh, this is terrible. Guys, I've never had this much trouble. So when I try to do something new, that's when I have trouble. Here it is. So really all I have left on this is the rest of this house, and then there's 2 snowflakes. Or actually, there might only be one snowflake left to finish. But yeah, just this house. This is on 32 count Belfast linen in the color Smoky Pearl. It is not the called for, but I am using all the called for DMCs except for B5200 as the white I'm using. But I cannot wait to get this done. And it will absolutely be done in time for the winter, and so that is what I'm so thrilled about that. So this is 25/7, and I've actually already started thinking about what my next 25/7 project is going to be. And so we will see what comes next, because I am looking forward to it. All right, next would be WhipGo. WhipGo projects for this month were I wanted to work on and start any Halloween project that I wanted to, and I did that. And then the other WhipGo project was, I have my book right here, let me look. It was a Halloween something, which I started. And Gingham Greetings, which I worked on both. So this is up to 5 hours. Gingham Greetings 2, 5 hours to a finish. And I've definitely worked on at least 3 hours on Gingham Greetings. So let me show you the Halloween start. I am in love with this project already. So this is, I'm sorry for the crinkling of the plastic, but this is Tonight is Halloween. This is by Kathy Barrick. I love this project. I can't even tell you. It is stitching up so nicely. I got a lot done on this so far. I'm very happy. So I'm stitching this the called for is like 36 count ale by Picture This Plus, which I could not find. So instead, I went with like a blue, grayish, like a greige color, and this is Whisper, and it's a 32 count Belfast linen by Witchelt. I'm using all the called for DMCs, and this is where I am so far. Look at that. It's so cute. Oh my gosh, this enormous tree is coming along so easily. This has been just so much fun to stitch. So this is my Tonight is Halloween. So this was my Halloween start for WhipGo. And if you don't know what WhipGo is, it is a product of Jessie Marie Does Stuff on Facebook. And basically, at the beginning of the year, you set up a bingo page like this. So it would look like this. And every month, you label them 1 through 25, and every month she calls 2 numbers, and then you're trying to get a bingo. So right now, I'm going to try to get a WhipGo right here. I've got one here. I also have one here. That was called earlier in the year, but I haven't finished it yet, so that needs to be finished. And then I also have one right here, which was it's 10 hours on Long May She Wave. That one has not been called yet. And I need to get back to number 19, which is The Most Wonderful Feast of the Year. That one, I didn't finish the 10 hours on that. I could get one here if number 23 is called, because Cozy Cardinals is coming up next. And that piece is a winter piece, so I was going to pull that out in November. So, lots of places. Like, I didn't hit the Little Dove Designs Adjust Your Sales. I didn't even get to that last month, so that was not crossed off as one. So, yeah. So this is my WhipGo board. So this is number 11, and then number 5 is Gingham Greetings. So let me pull that one out. I don't know why, but I have a hard time seeing on this fabric. I'm not sure why. So, that's the pattern, sorry. So here is Gingham Greetings 2, so this is the one I'm working on. I am doing it in all the called for DMCs because I didn't feel like using fancy flosses on something this small. I'm doing this on 25 count black Lugana, and I don't know why, but I have the hardest time seeing this. Like in the daylight, it's not too bad, but I don't know why, but for some reason I've had a really hard time seeing this. Anyhow, I have some floating strings on it, so don't mind this. But here is where I am now. So probably about 3 hours. I finished the truck. I did have to tear out some things up here because they were in the wrong spot, but that's okay because this is 25 count, so it's really easy to pull things out of a 25 count. So, yep, this is 2/2. I love the colors, even with the DMC. Like, I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything without using the variegated floss for this. I feel like it pops really nicely on the fabric, so it's fine. So that is where I am with WhipGo. I have 2 WhipGo projects. And that was also my new start, because I haven't had any other new starts. Okay, so now on to my whips for the week, or 2 weeks, I should say. So I have worked on Potion Brews and Spells. This is by Louise Henderson of Cherished Stitches. And this is the one that came out of the Just Cross Stitch magazine for Halloween in 2016. Move the floss out of the way. I am doing it with the called for thread, DMC thread, which is $37.99. Calls for Gloriana silk, but. And then I'm not doing the alphabet because I chose a piece of fabric that was too small. So I'm doing all of this up here, skipping the alphabet, and doing all of this down here. So I think it's going to be great. I love it. So this is where I am so far. This is on 32 count Belfast linen in the color Plum by Fiber on a Whim. And I love it. I'm just going to get started on the inside. So I finished all of this, got to get started on the inside. So that's probably going to come out this weekend and play. So it's been a little while since I've been on that. And then I worked on my Flea Market flowers. This is by It's So Emma, the Fat Quarter Shop. I took this with me and worked on this a little bit in the car last weekend. It is hard for me to work on this in the car because, well, my husband's car anyway. In my car I can, in my van I can, but in his little car, for some reason I get so car sick in this car. I actually had to take Dramamine for the first time in my life last weekend because I was getting so car sick in his car. Anyways, let me just move the needle down to the bottom here. This, I tried to start this with the stitch along. There was no way. Those of you that can get this stuff done in a month, that is so amazing. I just can't. It's a lot of stitching, but it is coming along so nicely. This is my sewing room project. So this is going to go in my sewing room when I get it all set up. So here is where I am, and this is what I worked on last weekend in the car. This is all of this part right here. So I am doing this on the called for fabric, which is 25 count barley. In all the called for DMCs. I'm not changing anything on this. My husband says it looks like something that jumped right out of 1975. I said, well, we were something that jumped out of the 1970s, late 70s, but we're 70s babies. Anyways, I love it. I love stitching it. It is going to be so great. All right, so then the next one that I worked on some, which I said I was going to, and I actually did, is, and I'll put a picture right here of Caterpillar Cross Stitch Hello Pumpkin. Again, this is one that I would love to finish before the end of the year, which I think I will be able to. I've said that for months, but if I just hunker down and sit down, because I really do love stitching on this. So it's not that I'm not interested in stitching it. Every time I pull it out, I'm happy I have it out. It's just, I don't know why. There's just other projects that are calling to me right now. All right, so here it is. So I finished the mushroom head and then 3 other motifs under that acorn next to the fox. So we're getting there. We are almost done with the full top. And then just the tree and the pumpkins at the bottom. And I can't start Hello Dear until this one is done. So, and I have everything kitted up and ready for Hello Dear. So this has to be done soon because I would love to start Hello Dear in November and work on that through the Christmas season. All right, the next whip that I worked on is Halloween Quaker by Leela's Studio, which it has been a while since I worked on this one too. So here it is. The last time you saw it, I had the witch done, this part done. There's a little like purple triangle here, and then part of this motif was done. And this morning I finished the motif. And here it is. I can't even tell you how much fun this is to stitch on, and I am loving Belfast linen and will probably only stitch on Belfast linen for, at least for now. I love it so much. My stitches are even. It's a beautiful size. It's not too big, but it's not too small, and it's very easy for me to see it. So, you know what? When you find something that you love, it might not be 40 count, but it is beautiful. It's just a little larger than a 40 count. And not, oh, actually, I just noticed that I didn't finish that S. This S needs to be finished. I'm going to have to finish that. I just noticed that I didn't do the whirly-cue in here. Anyway, loving it. And it is stitching, like, it's so easy. So don't feel bad. Like, I guess that my point of that is, like, I, for a long time after I started watching Flosstube, started, like, thinking about my own stitching and was like, oh my gosh, I've been stitching for 30 years. Why am I still stitching on this count? Or why haven't I ever tried to, like, get to this point? So what I did was I started with the 25 count even weave. And I did 2 projects on that. Actually, I have a couple projects, like my Cozy Cardinals. Let me pull that out because that's going to be coming up soon. Is that in this one? I don't remember which. Yes. So this is the Cozy Cardinals. This was in last year's December Just Cross Stitch magazine. So there's Cozy Cardinals. I am doing this on 25 count. This was one of my first 25 count pieces. I did a piece for my daughter on 25 count as well. So then I thought, well, I'm still not good enough because all these other stitchers are stitching. So here it is. It's so pretty. All of these other stitchers are stitching on 28 or stitching on 36 or 40 count. And so I must be behind if I can't do that. I need to be able to do that too. So I went up to 28 count. And I had stitched on 28 count before because I did a lighthouse project in 2000 and that was on 28 count. Just a regular white linen because at the time they didn't have all this colored stuff. So I had done a project on that and I'd used 22 count Ada. So 22 count hard, I think they call it like hard anger. Or something like that, but it was 22 count Ada, but I thought you needed to stitch 2 over 2 or 2 over 1, and it's not 2 over 1 on 22 count, but I didn't know that at the time. So I started stitching a full coverage piece and have since decided to restart that full coverage piece. Oh my gosh, I hate that you can only see my fat head. I'm sorry guys, and I don't mean to be so rude to myself, but that's how it feels with the camera. Anyway, so I went to 28 count and that is what Hello Pumpkin is on. It's on 28 count smoky white. And I liked that and I can stitch in hand pretty easily with that. Then I went to 32 count and I have even weave in 32 count and I have linen in 32 count and I have Belfast in 32 count and out of all of those, love the Belfast the most. I have stitched on 36 count linen, and I do have some 40 count linen, but I don't see myself stitching on that very regularly. I have 32 count. I have even weave in 32 count. I have linen in 32 count, and like my 32 count drawer is like full of linen and even weave. I think 32 count is where I'm going to stick. I think that's just where I'm going to be. So this is on 32 count Murky by Picture This Plus, which is the called for fabric, but the called for count is like 36 or 40 count. So mine's going to be a little bigger, but it's amazing. I love it. So that's all of my current whips that I've been working on. Let's talk about plans. So we're going into a new month next week. But I said I wanted to stitch Halloween-y stuff. So my plan for this 24 hours of cross stitch weekend is to start 3 new projects. And you might be saying, Kim, why are you starting 3 new projects? You have all of these whips started. Well, let me tell you. I printed these months ago with the intention that I was going to stitch them. So I am going to. The first one is Blackbirds on a Pumpkin. It is by Rosewood Manor. And I want to stitch this, and it's a small, so I think I can probably stitch it pretty easily and pretty quickly. And so I'm going to start this one. This came out of the 2021 Halloween Just Cross Stitch magazine. So I am going to stitch that. I am also going to stitch Hocus Pocus, I Need Coffee to Focus, which it's going to be kind of hard for you to see the picture, but I need to hold it a little bit. It looks like that. I don't know. There we go. And that is by Rona Nori, or Rona Nori. Sorry if I pronounced her name wrong. And this is also out of the 2021 Just Cross Stitch Halloween edition. And then I am also going to stitch Happy Halloween by Erin from Autumn Lane Stitchery. And I have kitted that up mostly. Then I'm going to finish, so this weekend I'm going to, let me show you where I am at it, on it, so that you can see. I haven't picked this up in a while, but I really want to get this done. Quirky Quaker's Mythical Creatures. Sorry, this is in black and white. I've already stitched the Bigfoot, and I stitched the Loch Ness Monster, and I'm working on the unicorn right now, which is very hard to see in this lighting. I changed it to DMC. I'm doing this on 18 count oatmeal Ada, or is it oatmeal? It might be natural. I can't remember. Anyway, so here's my Bigfoot. There's my Loch Ness, and this is my unicorn. So this is technically supposed to be all white, I think. And is it supposed to be all white? Let me check. Yes, hyacinth, which is white, and pink, white and pink. I'm doing it with this beautiful DMC, let me find you the color. $45.07. So I'm doing it in 4507 DMC, and then I'm going to do the unicorn in white, and then the multicolor for the mane and the tail, and the horn. So this is ready for just the unicorn. So I would like to finish that this weekend and get that done. I'm doing it 1 over 1. 1 thread over 1. And then this next spot here is going to be for the Yeti. And I'm going to make these into Halloween. Oh my goodness. Christmas ornaments for my kids. So. And this lives in a bag I made over the summer with fabric I got from, this came from Walmart, but this came from Hobby Lobby. I love the lobsters. Okay, so that I would like to work on. I want to get at least a couple of hours this week in on Potion, Spells, and Brews. I'd like to get closer to a finish on, Hello Pumpkin, if I can finish it. That would be amazing this week. I know I will be done with Peace on Earth. So then I need to decide what my next 25/7 project is going to be. And I was thinking maybe I would make that flea market flowers. But then I was thinking, well, maybe I should do a Christmas one because it's going to be close to Christmas time. And I had started, let me pull them out so you can see. These are from Country Cottage Needleworks. And I had started these in May for my mania, and I did work on them during Jolly July. So the first one is the Countdown to Christmas. So I could do this one, and here's where I am on that. This is on 32 count Belfast linen in the color Antique Lamb's Wool. Oh no, it's just 32 count Antique Lamb's Wool. So there's that one. Or I could work on Santa's sampler, which where's my cover page for Santa's sampler? My cover page went to this one. Hang on, guys. Oh, it's inside it. So there's Santa's sampler, which I had seen, oh my gosh. Sam from, oh my gosh, Sam from, Sammy's Stitches, maybe? Anyway, I love her. I watch her a lot. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on her name, but this is where I am on this one. So either one of these would make a great 25/7 project, and I love them. So, you know, they are very, very relaxing and easy stitches, and so we'll see. Maybe I'll just do a coin toss and decide which one it's going to be. So that is where I am. I also have a couple of other like things that have popped into my head, and I'm like, oh my gosh, Kim, you cannot start anything else. But then I'm like, well, I have tons of fabric and I have lots of floss, so who knows? Guess what I don't have again this week? Haul. I didn't buy anything. That's okay though, because I'm planning on going to Hobby House Needleworks this weekend. And when I go to Hobby House Needleworks, I always come home with fabric and a chart, floss, any of those things. So yeah, I hope that everybody has a great week. Maybe I can get back on next Saturday now that things are starting to calm down a little bit. We can talk about Halloween. And hope everybody is staying safe and healthy and enjoying the fall. I hope everyone is enjoying their stitching, or sitting by a fire maybe stitching, or maybe with candles and wine, or maybe you're a popcorn person but you eat the popcorn and then wash your hands. I don't really know. I'm just kind of rambling right now, but basically I just want everybody to have a great week, and I cannot wait to show you the progress and hopefully a finish next week, a big finish with Peace on Earth that I have been working on since May. Hopefully I will have that finished and you'll be able to see it before I send it, I think, to Michael's for framing. I've never done that before, but I think that that's one of the ones that I really want to have professionally done, and I always get like a 60% off coupon. So, you know, maybe I will send it to Michael's to be framed. We'll see. But anyways, have a great stitchy week, and I will see you in the next one. Bye now.